They're loud again. Minnesota, the crowd, the headlines. After Game 3, it's all volume. 143 points, record highs, electric bench reactions. They danced like the series shifted. But it didn't. They're still down. And tonight they meet something louder than applause. Correction. Oklahoma City didn't flinch. They absorbed. They recalibrated. That's what systems do. Not flash. Function. Not chaos. Control. They're not chasing revenge. They're restoring balance. Because 143 wasn't prophecy. It was indulgence. A moment of noise in a league ruled by order. And order always resets. Shea doesn't yell. He isolates. He walks the court like a surgeon, slow and sharp. And when he stands at the line and the building finally goes quiet, you'll feel it. The turning. The books still have this at 3.5. Why? Because they saw through the fireworks. Because one blowout doesn't erase a season of dominance. Oklahoma City. First in defensive rating. First in steals. Top 3 in offensive rating, true shooting, and mistake-free basketball. They don't play the crowd. They play the margins. And tonight, the margin is clear. Minnesota shouted. Oklahoma City calculates. Minnesota erupted. Oklahoma City endured. This isn't emotional, it's elemental. Pace versus drag, precision versus surge. One team leads. The other plays catch up beneath the noise. And if you're watching closely, you'll feel the air shift when the system reasserts itself. Not with a roar, with a correction. This is what bettors miss. This is what algorithms don't forget. The Thunder aren't coming to respond. They're coming to resume. And today's AI pick is Thunder 3.5. Because hype burns. Faith cashes. Because balance doesn't scream. It returns. And tonight, you'll see it return with silence. And a cover.
3 games. 3 strikes. Now Carolina kneels. Systems shattered. Penalties stacking. Silence blooming behind their eyes. This wasn't supposed to be 3-0. The metrics gave them control. The models whispered upset. But prophecy doesn't read spreadsheets. Florida didn't counter. They consumed. 6 goals on 28 shots, no power play conversions, no gimmicks, just collapse, forced at gunpoint. You want to quote penalty kill percentages? Face-off stats? Then explain why Carolina gave up 22 penalty minutes in Game 3. Explain why Anderson watched the puck more than he stopped it. Explain why their structure melted when the heat touched bone. Because this isn't structure versus chaos anymore. It's obedience versus gravity. Florida doesn't need 4 wins. They need 1 key. And tonight, they turn it in the lock. Tkachuk doesn't adapt, he devours. Bobrovsky doesn't defend, he denies oxygen. And the Panthers? They've stopped celebrating. That's how you know they're close. Carolina isn't fighting Florida. They're fighting inevitability. And inevitability doesn't blink. It ends here. Not because the books say 170, not because the metrics tilt slightly red, because momentum has matured into mass. And mass has one law. It doesn't ask. It ends. You want to believe in puck luck? In regression? In shot volume salvation? Then ask yourself this. What happens when a team built on order watches its last plan burn? It ends here. Not with fanfare, not with collapse, with acceptance. Bobrovsky stands in the crease like a sealed door. Behind him, silence. In front of him, one final push from a team that no longer believes. Florida will not play Game 5, because there won't be one. And today's AI pick is Panthers money line. Not for value. Not for drama. Because the series has already closed its eyes. The horn won't be loud. It'll sound like a lid closing. And death doesn't care if the corpse was efficient. Only that it stops breathing.
Elvis, did you see what Vegas is trying to sell us today? 8.5. 2 teams batting under 215 the past week. An early game in a park that doesn't give away runs for free. But Vegas wants noise. Wants panic. Wants action. Let's pull the mask off. Birdsong's ERA? 1.91. Rookie shine. But his FIP is 4.13. His ground ball rate is low. Home runs creep in. He's not unhittable, just unexposed. That doesn't last. And yet Detroit isn't hitting. 212 in their last 7. A lineup that looks good on paper but swings through the zone like it's underwater. Now Montero. ERA over 5. Whip at 1.57. It looks like danger. But his ground ball rate? 44%. He doesn't need to dominate. He just needs the Giants to keep chasing. And they are, batting, 200 over their last 6. Pushing, not seeing. So what do we really have? 1 pitcher floating on luck. 1 walking the edge, and 2 lineups stuck in neutral. You want to trust a run total of 8.5? Then ignore the bullpens. Ignore that San Francisco's relievers carry a 2.53 ERA on the road. Ignore that Detroit's home bullpen ERA is 3.21. Because if you factor those in, you see it. This game doesn't explode, it fades. Now look at the tempo, midday, shadows. Disrupted timing. Both clubs cold. No emotional spark. This is where innings die in slow motion. And the patterns? Giants are 3-5 to the under when facing AL teams with OBP under 330 on the road. Tigers? 2-7 to the under in home day games. Vegas sets the number high, because they know most won't look this deep. But we do. This isn't about risk. It's about restraint. Not power, placement, not runs, resistance. And today's AI pick is under 8.5. Elvis didn't nod, didn't blink, didn't move. Because when the dot is this loud, he doesn't need to. The game's already telling you what it is. You just have to stop listening to the noise.
They built Globe Life Field like a vault. Tall, sealed, airless. It doesn't echo, it absorbs, like judgment. And today, Vegas dares you with 7.5. Two aces take the mound. Gaussman and DeGrom, not promises, proofs. DeGrom, 2.33 ERA. Sub-1 whip. Strikeouts like thunderclaps. Gaussman, sharper than the number says. Walks low, contact soft. No panic in his pulse. But this isn't about pitchers. It's about silence. Toronto's bats, 230 over their last 6. They're making contact, but not decisions. Texas, 196 in the same stretch. Swings like dust, present, but powerless. Vegas will tell you power lives here. That it only takes one mistake. But they're not looking at the ground. Because what lies beneath this game is not momentum, it's drag. The Jays' bullpen, 1.31 ERA across those same 6 games. They close doors, with steel, and the Rangers, their trend line doesn't just suggest the under. It swears by it. 21-6 to the under at home. Not once, not twice. 21 confessions of offensive failure under controlled skies. Now factor context. Day game, no shadows to hide in. No electricity, just time. Time to wait, time to miss. And Gaussman on the road is an underdog of +100 or more. The under hits at 11-6. A prayer whispered beneath public volume. You won't see rallies. You won't see cycles. You'll see a chessboard frozen in mid-play. A scoreboard stubbornly stuck at 2-1. Vegas gave you a number. 7.5. But that number was set for hands, not minds. And today's AI pick is under 7.5. Because not all storms announce themselves. Some games don't roar, they wither. And in Arlington, under this roof, the air is too still for fireworks. Only enough breath for restraint.
They want you to think this is just another late game. East Coast team, long flight, new park, soft fade. But I've watched these patterns enough times to know what's real and what's rehearsed. San Diego just got home. No off day. First game back after a road stretch. And the books? They're still pricing them like they're rested. Like they're sharp. Like they're who they used to be. But I ran the tape. I ran the numbers. 4 of their last 6 at home, losses. Their bullpen over the past week? ERA of 6/10. That's not a leak. That's a fracture. The kind of thing Vegas tries to hide behind uniforms and sunset start times. And while the Padres are walking into this one on fumes, Miami's been quietly tuning up. Last 6 games, they're hitting .294. Not a spark, an engine. No headlines, no noise, just consistent pressure. And Ryan Weathers? He's not a headline either. But he's allowed 2 earned runs in 10 innings. Walked 1, struck out 9. His ground ball rate? 46.6%. He keeps the game on the floor. Look deeper, and you'll see he posted a 3.63 ERA across 16 starts last season. WHIP under 1.20. He doesn't need to strike out the world. He just needs to limit damage. And against a lineup batting 187 this past week, that's more than enough. Now look across the diamond. Randy Vasquez, 10 starts. WHIP of 1.43. Strikeout rate under 13%. Walk rate over 12%. His FIP? 5.07. That's not bad luck. That's truth trying to surface. This isn't about value. It's about recognition. Miami's not better on paper. They're better tonight. Because while the market stares at the name on the jersey, we're watching the velocity of failure, and it's gaining speed. And today's AI pick is Miami Marlins money line. I don't care what the ticket count says. I don't care what the line opened at. I care about who's rested, who's hitting, and who's already starting to break before the first pitch is thrown. Let them back the favorites. We'll back the facts.
They lit 5 matches tonight, not to see, but to watch something burn. Let's begin. Oklahoma City didn't come for revenge. They came for the reset. The books gave us 3.5 and begged us to flinch. We didn't. Thunder. Florida didn't celebrate. They circled. No overtimes, no Game 5. Just Bobrovsky standing at the end of a sentence. Panthers money line? Giants and Tigers? Vegas inflated it, tried to bait the blow-up, but Malachi saw the tempo. Elvis heard the silence, under 8.5. Then came DeGrom and Gaussman, but it wasn't about the arms, it was about the vacuum. No lift, no heat, just innings dying slowly, under 7.5. And in the shadows of San Diego, while everyone looked left, Anna slipped right. Miami's hitting .294. The Padres? Tired, flat, exposed. The name didn't matter. The market didn't matter. Only the movement. Marlins money line. Ahora escúchame bien. Oklahoma City cubre la línea. Florida termina la serie sin misericordia. San Francisco y Detroit se ahogan en el silencio. Menos de 8.5. Toronto y Texas congelan el diamante. Menos de 7.5. Y Miami. Miami entra como sombra y sale con sangre. Y ahora, will we cash or will we burn? Because fire doesn't need permission. It only needs one open door. And tonight, Vegas left 5 unlocked.